Welcome to the Raising Confident Girls podcast, your guide to raising strong, confident daughters. I'm Melissa Jones, the founder of Girls Positivity Club and a teacher for over 20 years. In a world where girls often feel overwhelmed, anxious, and confused, this podcast is your go-to space. As caregivers, we navigate challenges together. I founded Girls Positivity Club to provide a place where you belong and get the tools to face today's hurdles. Consider this your regular check-in with a trusted friend, offering insights and practical tips for meaningful conversations. I'm here to help you feel confident on this journey of raising a generation of empowered girls. Let's dive in and raise those confident girls together. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Raising Confident Girls. I am Melissa, and I'm so happy you're here again this week. Whether it's your first time or you've been here lots of times, welcome. And I have been feeling this season really strongly lately, especially because I have a teenager, and sometimes I feel like I'm not sure where our connection is. And this could be due to a lot of different reasons, but especially when my work picks up, and especially because Girls Positivity Club and now Boys Positivity Club is my biggest passion, and I get so involved in all the things that go into it that I wonder if I'm as connected as I should be with my teenager. And so I want to start out by naming something that almost every parent I talk to feels on some level at some time in their parenting, but rarely says out loud. And that is the quiet worry that creeps in during busy seasons. And I even had a mom send me a message on Instagram, and she was talking about how she works really long hours and she worried about missing a lot of the little things that happen day to day, like all the little missing connection points that she felt. And so if you're feeling like me or like her or somewhere in between, or if you've ever felt like this, I hope that this helps you feel not so alone, and also that there are ways that you can help yourself and your child or your children feel more connected, especially the girls in your life. And you know, the kind of worry that creeps in sometimes during these busy seasons is the kind that doesn't show up in the middle of chaos, but later when the house is calm. And for me, it's when there's quiet and you're doing your deep thinking, you're laying in bed and thinking about it at night. And the backpacks are by the door, lunches are half prepped for tomorrow, or maybe are ready to go. You're wiping down the counter maybe, or turning off the lights, or like I said, you're laying in bed thinking about this, and you suddenly think, we didn't really talk today. Not because anything went wrong, or not because there was a conflict or distance, but just because everything moved fast. And especially if you have a girl who is involved in activities, if she takes swimming lessons, if she is on a team of some kind, if she's in theater, if she just has a lot of workload with her homework lately, or whatever the case would be. Maybe your morning was rushed, or your after school window was short, and evenings were filled or have been filled lately with homework, like I said, practices, showers, screen time, and you wonder, are we still connected, or are we just managing side by side? And, you know, everybody has this as a parent, and this feeling that it happens. So this episode is for parents who care deeply, show up consistently, and still find themselves wondering whether the connection requires more time, more talking, or more intentional moments than they actually have right now. So today I want to help you understand what real connection actually looks like in busy seasons. And I hope it helps quiet your worry a little bit and helps give you some action steps that you can take to feel more connected with your daughter and the girls in your life. And how it's built quietly, steadily, and oftentimes without long conversations at all. How connection can really work. Most of us grew up believing that connection sounds like something. It sounds like long conversations, sounds like heart to hearts, processing things all the way through. And those are points of connection for sure. So when those moments become rare, parents can start worrying, and I hear this all the time, we don't talk like we used to. She doesn't tell me as much anymore. I miss those moments when she would just open up. And a lot of times this is as girls get older, but not always. I mean, it just can depend on your daughter and the girls in your life. But here's the part that parents don't always realize. Connection isn't measured by how much you talk. It's measured by how safe it feels to be together. Girls don't disconnect because life gets busy. They disconnect when presence feels tense, rushed, or conditional. And that's important because presence doesn't require extra time. It requires consistency. And I want to be clear that I don't mean that consistency has to be every day at the same time, or it has to be several days in a row. It just means, I heard this on a podcast recently, 3 times a week is a habit. And that is kind of relieving to hear, because it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be every second of every day. Or if you have some busy days, and that happens to everybody, it's just being aware of it and checking back in. And so let me paint you a picture that you might recognize. You're in the car, because that's what we're doing, is running our kids around, unless you have teenagers who drive. It's a short drive, maybe 10 minutes. You ask how her day was. She gives you a sentence, maybe 2, then silence. Not awkward, not cold, not that anything's wrong, just quiet. And your brain starts filling the gaps. Was that it? Should I ask more? Did I miss my chance? But here's what most parents don't realize. Those in-between moments, those car rides, quick check-ins, walking into practice, are where connection is often stored, not expressed. Girls log safety long before they share vulnerably. So she's noticing your tone, whether you seem rushed, whether she's allowed to just exist without explaining herself. And if these moments feel steady, her nervous system files that away as, I'm okay here. And connection is not built through intensity. It's built through repetition. It's built when your daughter knows you notice her. You're predictable. Your present doesn't change based on her mood or output. None of that requires long talks or long check-ins. So instead of asking, how do I create deeper conversations? A more helpful question could be, how do I show up in small, consistent ways that say I'm here, even when life is moving fast? Before we get into specifics, I want to say this clearly. These are not add more to your plate strategies. These are shifts in how you use moments that you already have. So the mom that was saying she works long hours, it doesn't mean that she has to catch everything. And it's also very normal to feel a little bit disconnected during busy times, or when you are working a lot more than maybe you normally do. The first thing that you can do, though, to feel more connected in ways that feel manageable is anchor connection to routine, not conversation. Many parents wait for the right moment to connect, but connection works best when it's expected, not planned. So for younger girls, connection often lives in routine, sitting nearby while she plays, a predictable bedtime phrase, the same goodbye hug before school. Those moments tell her, I don't have to earn closeness. For tweens, connection can often show up sideways. Listening to music together in the car, walking the dog, sitting near each other without talking. They feel closeness where there's no pressure to perform it. And for teens, connection is often felt through consistency, showing up when you say you will, keeping your tone calm, respecting space without disappearing. What matters isn't what's said, it's that connection doesn't require effort or explanation. And I also know that sometimes it does feel like it takes a little bit more effort, and that's okay too. The second way that you can stay connected is to use micro check-ins that don't demand more. And this is one of my favorite things to do. A lot of parents accidentally turn check-ins into pressure, and I've done this too. Questions like, how are you really doing? Why haven't we talked much lately? Can feel heavy, especially when a girl is tired. Instead, connection stays open when check-ins don't ask for more. You can try statements like, I'm really glad I got to see you today. I like being around you. I'm here if you want company. These say, you don't have to give me anything to stay close. And that's what keeps the door open. The next one is to let silence be part of the connection, and also to not be afraid of or feel like you have to fill in all the silence. Silence doesn't mean absence. Sometimes it means processing, comfort, trust. And girls who feel connected don't feel the need to fill the space. And when parents can stay calm in silence, it sends a powerful message. You don't owe me words to belong. I've watched girls open up later, not because a parent pushed, but because they felt safe enough to return to their own timeline. And what this does is it builds confidence long term. When connection isn't tied to talking, girls learn, I don't have to consistently and constantly explain myself. I'm accepted as I am. Relationships aren't fragile. That's emotional security. And emotional security is the foundation of confidence. So if life feels busy for you right now, and believe me, I am there right now too, I want you to hear this clearly. Connection doesn't disappear when time gets tight. It adapts. And often it deepens quietly in the spaces you're already sharing. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining another empowering episode of the Raising Confident Girls podcast. Share today's insights with caregivers and friends, building beautiful relationships with strong girls. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're not just a podcast, we're a community. Follow Girls Positivity Club on social media for more empowering content on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This podcast empowers you, supporting incredible girls. Let's create strong, beautiful relationships with the girls in our lives. I appreciate you listening today. Stay confident, stay connected. Until next time, keep raising those confident girls. You've got this.